Greetings, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for another one of our Patreon one-shots. With us is our Patreon crew at our one-shot tier. If you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is just like these fine folks by joining us on our Patreon. Link in the description down below. Go join us at the $5 tier. You get 7 days free if you sign up for that. You get access to all of our after shows for this show, the last show, all the other shows for the last several years. Go check it out. Definitely worth your time if you like what we do here. That being said, as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, I don't know, probably cops come, or someone gets shot, or a ghost eats you. Who knows? This is Blades in the Dark. But two, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to this channel for all kinds of things like editing, artwork, mortgages, childcare, all the fun things that make this channel go round. The most fun, Melissa. With that, we are playing Blades in the Dark, a game that I have played quite a bit of, but only know some of the rules. It has been many years since we have played Blades in the Dark here on this channel. It is my really first time GMing it. I did start to GM it one time at home, and then that was it. We never actually played. We did the session 0 and never actually played the campaign. So this is technically my first time as GM of a Blades in the Dark game, and I know some rules. I have some words. There are clocks. Anyway, with that, let me bring you in to the world of Duskfall. But first, you guys are a crew of criminals in the world of Duskfall. This is a Victorian, steampunky, ghost-powered steampunk setting. There is electricity, but it is powered by ghosts. Quite literally, ghosts. There are, basically, this world itself was a prototypical fantasy world. There was magic, there were knights, all these fun things. A calamity happened. There's no evidence that there were like dwarves and elves and the races of fantastical kind, but it was a world of magic. And then something happened. An apocalypse. The sky went black, the seas went black, the dead rose, a hole was cracked in the realm of the dead. There is no sun. The sun rises for a few minutes at the beginning of the day to cast a orange glow over the horizon and then sinks back down. There is no sun. Everything is bad here. The seas are dangerous and full of demonic whales or monsters or sharks called leviathans. What powers our society is fuel made from the blood of, you guessed it, leviathans. So there are massive ships that go out there and hunt these giant demonic whales in the void sea. Bring them back here, refine their blood into oil, and thus we have electricity. But electricity, just like the oil that it is produced from, is for the rich, and that is not who you are. You are the dredges of society, living in the bottom, feeding off of what you can, what scraps you can find, and making your way through the city of Duskfall. There are corrupt politicians. There are corrupt police officers. There's corruption everywhere, and that is where you call home. All ruled over by the immortal emperor who just places people where he wants because corruption rises all the way to the top. That being said, the four of you are part of a crew of cleaners, as you have called it. Mechanically speaking, you are part of a crew of assassins. And in this game, the crew itself has its own character sheet. You are tier 0, but a strong tier 0. There's a weak and a strong hold. That's your position. You are strongly positioned at tier nothing. No one really knows who you are. Good thing is that if you fuck up, the worst that could happen is you individually die. You don't actually ruin your reputation, and no one comes looking for you that much. You have a bit of coin saved up as a crew, but most importantly, you guys get to pick a special ability that you have access to use on top of your normal special abilities. You'll be able to use this special ability one time during this session. If you look on your crew character sheet for assassins, you have these special abilities: Deadly, Crow's Veil, Ember Death, No Traces, Patron, Predators, Vipers, and Veteran.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, mine is blank.
Well, fuck. You don't see anything?
No.
Nope.
On the
Completely
left-hand
blank.
side?
Also
I'm sorry. Not on the crew mode of your character sheet. The actual character sheet crew. It's a separate character sheet at the top of the journal.
Character mode, crew mode. Okay,
Nope,
got it.
A separate character sheet called crew assassin.
Okay, that's blank.
It's blank. Yeah, that's the blank one. Yeah. Crew parentheses assassins. I get one tab. It's called bio and info, and it's blank. Everything's blank.
Interesting. You don't see this.
Yes. No.
Wild. What if I do this? Can you see it now?
Something's happening.
Oh, yay!
Oh, okay. Figured it out. Okay. So, on the bottom left-hand side, you will see special abilities: Deadly, Crow's Veil, Ember Death, No Traces, Patron, Predators, Vipers, Veteran. Collectively, you get to pick one of those.
I say no track, personally.
I'm going to say, now it's the 30 minutes of silence as we need to read through what they're all doing.
So as you read through to fill silence, Deadly. Each PC makes an additional +1 action rating to hunt, prowl, or skirmish up to a max rating of 3, which means you would get a +1 on your one of those as your skills. Crow's Veil. Due to hard-won experience or occult ritual, your activities are hidden from the notice of the Deathseeker Crows. You don't take extra heat when killing is involved. The Deathseeker Crows are crows that permeate the city of Duskwall. When something dies, a bell rings for everyone around at the tower, and as well as everyone around the dead can hear that bell ring. And then the crows come in because dying inside the city is bad because ghosts are real, and quickly ghosts come out and do bad things. So there is a faction of people who don't want that, and they go collect the body and bring it back to the incinerators and turn their ghost into ectoplasm to be used for fuel. Ember Death. Due to hard-won experience or occult rituals, you know the arcane method to destroy living victims' spirit. That is the same thing. That is the incineration death that kills the spirit. No Traces. When you keep an operation quiet or make it look like an accident, you get half the rep value of the target, round up instead of 0. When you end downtime with 0 heat, take +1 rep. Patron. When you advance your tier, it costs half the coin it normally would. Who is your patron? Why did they help you? Predators. When you use stealth or subterfuge to commit murder, take a +1 to the engagement roll. When you acquire, this is Vipers, when you acquire or craft poisons, you get a +1 result to the roll. And Veteran, choose a special ability from another crew.
All right, I changed my suggestion. I think the Crow's Veil is interesting because we are assassins. So we tend to leave bodies behind. So having them be hidden from the Deathseeker Crows seems like a good thing.
I mean, the only thing I would say to that is that, like, we're playing a one-shot, so I don't know how many, like, long-term consequences we're going to have.
Well, we never know. We never know what's going to happen. This
I'm just saying, a one-shot, it's pretty cool to just do, like, sorry.
Melissa, in all things I can already see your face, Iquin. Shut up. Shut your face up. In all things to irritate me, Iquin and G have already decided that their mission in life is to take anything that I say as a one-shot. If it even has a hint of potential for more than a one-shot, they are determined to make it be more than a one-shot. So already they have determined that this will be more than a one-shot. They have never played before, and they've determined that this will be more than a one-shot.
I'm fighting the good fight for you, Mike.
I know.
Have fun, Mike. You want to have fun.
Mythology just happens, Mike. It's nobody's fault that they happen.
You, Mike.
I hate it here.
I mean, in that sense, we should choose Veteran, because then we've got to pick a whole other ability from another.
Jesus Christ, no!
Yes!
Snow! God damn it!
I'm good with whatever y'all want to do.
God damn it.
I was thinking that, yes, Crow's Veil is good. The second other one, if we don't want Crow's Veil, would be No Traces, so we can be more assassiny and try to make everything is quiet, but we still get rep for it.
Yeah, or Deadly if we just want to go murder hobo-y, which is,
I mean, we're assassins, so Deadly seems to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way Deadly works is each of you individually get to add +1, so 1 more pip, to either hunt, prowl, or skirmish. Up to a
Hunt?
maximum of 3.
Prowl.
Hunt,
Or
prowl, or skirmish.
Prowl about unseen and traverse obstacles. Climb, swim, jump, run, and tumble. Ambush with close violence. A backstab, cutting throat, back jab. Skirmish with an opponent in close combat. Assault a hold of position, brawl, and wrestle. Interesting. I will go prowl myself.
Okay.
I think I'll do skirmish because I have nothing in that. So now I have something in it.
Heck yeah, hunt
Okay.
for a total of 3.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And Norm, what
Yeah.
are you taking?
I think my prowl.
You're taking prowl?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell yes. All right, cool. Cool. That starts us off. I won't put you guys on the spot, but the crew does need a name. It does need a name. And it does eventually need a location to which sector of the city it operates from. But we won't have to go too crazy with that just yet. I'll let you guys simmer on that. But, to kick us off, the sky above Duskfall is black as coal, and it never changes. Not here, not anymore. 1,000 years ago, the gates of death shattered, and the sun was swallowed whole. Now the only light that holds the dark at bay crackles from the lightning towers, jagged blue arcs that line the city walls, hissing and snapping like angry serpents. The city crouches inside its cage of lightning, a rotting beast made of brick, soot, and sorrow. Narrow alleys wind between leaning row houses, gas lamps sputter in the mist, thick chimney smoke smothers the rooftops, mixing with the constant sea stink rising from the docks. Everywhere you turn, the bones of the old world show through. Ancient stones, crumbling statues, the scars of wars no one remembers anymore. The living cling to their vices like barnacles on a sinking ship. Smugglers run contraband across the canals, gangs carve bloody territory into the cobbles. Ghosts linger in the half-lit places, and demons whisper from the cracks between reality and nightmare. Here in Duskfall, you don't live. You survive. And even that comes at a price. Tonight, the city feels worse than usual. The air is heavy, electric. You can taste the coming storm in the back of your throat. You find yourselves gathered in a long-forgotten shrine at the edge of the night market. The cracked idol of some ancient god slumps overhead, its hollow eyes weeping streaks of black soot down the wall. Rainwater drips from the sagging roof, pooling at your feet. In the flickering lamplight stands Lord Rivenholt, a man clinging to the last tattered threads of nobility. His velvet cloak is soaked and stained, his voice tight with urgency. Something has been stolen from me. Something dangerous. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could tear open old wounds the city cannot afford to bleed. You must recover it, or destroy it, quickly, quietly. No mistakes, no witnesses. He thrusts a leather satchel towards you, a map scrawled on a brittle parchment, a name whispered in fear, the Ash-Marked. Far off, the night market bell tolls once, twice, echoing like a funeral knell through the fog. Midnight is coming, and something ancient, something furious, is stirring in the dark. Something has been taken from Lord Rivenholt. He has hired you to either find and retrieve it, or find and destroy it. You know that it has been taken by a cult called the Ash-Marked, and there on the parchment map, you have a location to where you believe this object to be. This object is an urn belonging to the Rivenholt house. For whatever reason, he wants it retrieved or destroyed. That is the setup. The game of Blades in the Dark works in phases. We now go from the setup to the free play phase, where here you can begin to set up your operation, your mission here. You must get to this location, find the object, retrieve or destroy the object. Before that happens, you can decide how you want to, or if you want to, gather intel, set up possible traps or create things if that's your bag, how you get ready for the actual mission. what do you all want to do to get ready for this mission?
Ren will. I don't. How long do we have? Do we have a couple days? We have a week. We have a month. How long do we got?
You have today.
We have today. 1 day.
One
Okay.
day.
What do we know then about the ash mart?
Would you like to find out?
Yes, that's what I would like to do. So
Outstanding.
I was going to say Ren would go out and hang out in some dark corners and listen in and try and figure out stuff about the ash mart.
Outstanding. Now there are two options you have. Technically three, I guess. I'll say you have two options. You can either roll a consort, which is connections from your heritage and your background, friends or rivals. So you, as a Severosi, you could meet up with other people of the Severosi or military people to see if they've heard about that. That would be a consort. A sway would be sort of like your charm or logic, or like that's getting people to talk, that's drawing the information out of them. Which of those two things would you like to roll? Unless you have a better suggestion for how you think you could.
Well, I was thinking more. We're getting a lot of noise from someone, by the way.
I think it might be snow.
I was thinking more about using a little bit of stealth to enable listening in.
Okay, so you just want to drop some eaves. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me a prowl roll. This will be now when you click on prowl, it should pop up and ask you a number of questions. I think this should be. I think the first one is standard, or controlled, and the next one is standard.
Okay. And standard. Okay. Submit. I don't know what that. What's the form?
So this game works where the highest dice rolled of your total dice is the only one that really matters, and it works on a what is it called, like a Powered by the Apocalypse. So like a 6 is good, a 5 is not terrible, a 3 and less is not great. So a 4 is not incredibly bad, but you don't get a lot of information here. You find that the Ash Marked are a cult. They are a cult. You believe they are worshiping either a collection of spirits or perhaps a demon. You're not entirely sure between the two. You didn't get a lot of details on that, but they are a cult. And they do operate out of Charter Hall, which is the same place as was marked on the map. So that piece of information does sort of track with that. Unfortunately, a 4 does not get you a whole lot of information. So that's what you get. Hawk, Archie, and Patsy, what do you want to do to prepare for this?
One thing the Hawk is going to do is she's going to retreat back from her alias back to Detective Roxandra Van Huxley, and she's going to use her crooked blue coat contacts or knowledge from the blue coats in general to get some information about Chartered Hall and what's going on around Chartered Hall lately. Is there any heat around that area? Has it been quiet? Any kind of goings on in the area?
Interesting. Okay. What do you want to roll for that?
Probably gonna roll consort.
Okay.
It's not very high. Yes. And that's controlled?
It will be controlled and standard.
Okay. Whoop. 5? I have no idea what that's. Sorry, scroll down.
You rolled a 1.
1.
That is the bad outcome. 1 through 3 is bad. 4 and 5 is a partial, and a 6 is a full success. You withdraw from your blue coat activity and into your hawk persona, and you make your way around Charter Hall. And I'll say, as a blue coat, Charter Hall is not your beat, so this is a new area for you. Not a new area for you, but not an incredibly familiar area for you. That being said, Charter Hall is one of the collegiate areas within Duskfall. So there is constantly a lot of shit going on here. There is the Bellwether Tower, there's Charter Wall, there's the Old Quarter, there's a whole section of alchemists, there's a whole section of like banking, there's the legal quarter where the barristers are. So there is a lot happening here constantly.
Yeah.
There is a school of alchemists who are working on the spark craft that sort of powers the generators here. There are all of the law keepers, all the lawyers, the barristers, the
so it's like
judges.
a university.
So a lot of stuff happens here, and it's hard for you to parse out what is cult activity versus what is like there's a school of ghosts that like just studies ghosts. So like you hear things that sound culty, but then you realize it's just a bunch of students. You hear things that sound like using ghosts for something, and then you realize it's a bunch of Sparkrights that are talking about like a new invention. So you kind of meander through Charter Hall, and you are struggling to discern what is collegiate nerdery and actual cultist conversation. So you don't actually get anything useful out of this. Archie and Patsy, what about you?
For my sake, I think that the job at hand is to get in somewhere and destroy something. So explosive gas, I need more of it. I just need more of my nicely fine-tuned, my own invention, exploding gas mic.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? I'm going to give you a clock. So the way that a clock works is on a success. I believe you fill out 2 pips. Sorry, on a success you fill out 3 pips. On a partial success you fill out 2, and that's pretty much where it stops there. So this will be a 4 clock. So if you look on your character sheet, Ashton von Stein, if you look on your character sheet and you scroll all the way down to the bottom right-hand side, right above notes, there's a plus sign under the word clocks. Click on that plus sign, click on the word number 2, and type in bomb, whatever you want to call that clock.
There is no 2. There's 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12.
I'm sorry, 4. 4 is what I meant to say. Then you can name that bomb or whatever you'd
bomb.
like.
Yeah,
Whatever
bomb.
you'd like.
There we go. Exploding
Now-
gas.
We're going to roll. I believe Tinker is going to be your role here. Now, the effect and position is something that we can kind of negotiate for. Where are you conducting this experimentation, this crafting? Is it somewhere that you think is a controlled environment?
I would imagine that since I am the demolitions expert in my crew, I do have some kind of laboratory / workshop set up for doing prep work to do my job.
Okay. So I will say this is going to be a controlled. And then this bomb, your options are going to be great, standard, or limited for the effect. Standard is your regular bomb, right? Limited would be a small bomb. Great would be a bigger bomb. What size bomb do you think you want?
Since I don't know beforehand exactly how much explodey I need, I'm envisioning that we either need to do the explodey to get into whatever the place is, or if we get in, we need explodey to make sure that whatever it is destroyed if things go south. I think I'm going to do a standard.
Okay.
Great seems to be not quiet. A limited seems to be a bit too less for the job at hand. So standard is good. Not too cold, not too warm, just right.
Just right. Perfect. Go ahead and make that roll.
And bonus die. I think I got a bonus die. Is that bonus die or is it because it says something about +1 result level to your roll? Is that a bonus
Where does it
die
say
or
this?
just
Oh, when you invent or
on the
craft a
ability
creation,
itself?
take +1 result level to your roll. You begin with 1 special design already known. So that's your special design you already know.
Yep.
Result level. I think that just
Yes,
increases
I
your
was hoping
highest
that
dice
you
by
knew
1.
this.
I believe it just increases your highest
Oh.
die by 1.
Right, so I just go 0 bonus dice then. Go. So my highest dice is a 6, I think.
It is a 6.
And then it's a 7.
Let me double check here. No. So what we'll say is that's going to increase the effect here. So you can
Okay.
check off 3 pips on your bomb. On the 4th one, you can create a new bomb.
Right.
Outstanding. Patsy, what would you like to do with the time given to you?
Patsy's going to head to Clerk Street in Charter Hall and just go up to whatever passes for a blue coat office or something like that. Hold out his hand and says, "I'm one of the ash marked. I was involved in that thing they did the other day."
Interesting. Okay. So you head to the headquarters of the City Watch, over on Archon Street, Archon Avenue, so just north of Clerk Street. What is your end goal here?
The goal is to find out what they've been involved in and from there maybe work out where they're operating from.
Interesting. Okay, cool. How do I how do I want you to roll this bullshit? Leave it to Norm to just make shit up. I think
That was pretty awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I think sway. Deception. This seems to be a deception.
Yep.
What I will say is this will be sway, but I think your position is risky, and I think your So here's the risk, right? If you succeed very well and they fully buy into your story, you could end up in prison, right? So that's the risk, right? The effect is determinant on was there crimes recently for them to believe? So what do you think the effect is? Great would be like there were recently crimes, they fully believe you. That could be problematic for you being arrested. Limited, there weren't many crimes, or they're not really a big player, and so no one's really worried about them. Standard would kind of be like somewhere in the middle. Is that there is a little bit of concern, but not enough to lock you in prison.
I think the great result would be that there has been something they've done. They were questioning Patsy for a while, but they'll also know his background and know that he tends to try to take ownership of any crime that he can and then eventually throw him out because he doesn't know anything.
Okay. Then in that case, I will allow a great effect, but I will change your position to desperate. So either they're going to recognize you right away and be like, get the fuck out, or they're not going to recognize you, and you may also get arrested.
So do I need to change anything for that desperate?
Did you already select risky?
No,
it shouldn't matter. Just it should be a drop down. I think when you click on sway, it should pop up and say desperate as an option. A 5. Ooh. Okay, so one of the rules we can introduce here is that whenever you roll a desperate roll, which is the riskiest kind of roll to make, you do get to check an XP. So under the Resolve tab, those little like daggers next to the word Resolve, you get to check one of those off as an XP. Okay, so a desperate and a great effect. Very interesting. Very interesting. You succeeded with a partial success. Okay, you get brought in by a junior, a more junior blue coat, right? He does not recognize you. This is probably someone, you know, a couple years into the job, isn't wise to your shtick, right? You get brought in, you say just vague enough things to be thought criminal. In doing so, this kid, probably in his early to mid-20s, begins running at the mouth. And he is accusing you. He's sort of filling in the blanks of your crime Mad Lib, right? He is accusing you of being part of a number of burial break-ins, a number of break-ins into houses of lesser nobility, and the stealing of familial urns containing the ash of loved ones incinerated in the bell tower. There have been a rash of break-ins where they are assuming it is this cult, or what they're calling a cult, of people who are stealing the ashen remains of people throughout the city. They have no idea for what purpose, but they have seemed to link it back to Charter Hall, and they are investigating. They are investigating an area in Charter Wall. And Charter Wall also matches with what Ren found, and also matches with what the position on the map was provided to you by Lord Rivenholt. Eventually, you get brought into the station. One of the senior sergeants or officers recognizes you. There's a couple of like jokes back and forth that you're like the local guy who's never actually done crime but keeps trying to get arrested, just wants infamy, and you get thrown out on your ass. But you do get a little bit of information. They are operating in Charter Hall. They are operating in Charter Wall, and they appear to be stealing the remains of lesser noble houses for some reason. Cool. That, I believe, will conclude our first set of downtime. Now comes the culmination of everything you've learned. So the way we start is to see how we do an engagement roll to see how difficult this is going to be for all of you going forward. So we take what we have learned from your downtime to assist in this engagement roll. So I'm going to say you're going to get one dice automatically. This is a bargain where we kind of decide what we can have here. So you're going to get one die automatically for just doing this mission. The better the number, the better your chances of starting off without a hiccup. So you're going to get one dice for the operation. Do you think that anyone's intel is enough intel to give you another dice?
I don't really see how, but because I didn't learn anything.
Okay, this is
And neither
collective.
did
This is,
Archie.
as a group. Do you think you have
I know,
enough
like,
information to grant you
Hawk
one
and
point
Archie
of
didn't
dice?
learn anything.
We learned some things, and like we know that they are operating in this place. We know at least something of what their MO is, stealing those stuff. So it's not like we're completely in the dark.
Okay, I'll give you
No.
+1 for that.
Sweet.
So they're stealing more than one family's ashen remains. Clearly Rivenholt is concerned about this so much that he would prefer to even destroy it. So there is some sort of, they're getting some sort of leverage off of this. They also, I don't know how we can connect that they like worship spirits or a demon. Maybe that's somehow related. Feels like in this game everything would be a cult, right?
Not. I mean, everything. They could just be like a gang of assassins that are just killing people. Right. It could be like a gang of smugglers that are doing smuggling. The Ashen marked are a cult. That's the guys I put you up against. There's a lot of culty shit in this game. So I'll say 1 for the mission. I'll say 1 for the information gathered. If someone would like to take a devil's bargain, I will give you additional +1.
What does this get us? Like, that's what I don't know. So
this initial roll basically determines whether getting into the mission will be easier or harder. So based on the information, like think Ocean's 11, right? How much were you able to plan ahead of time to make the mission as a whole easier?
Yeah, so like what I'm concerned about is that there's a lot going on here, so a lot of eyes like everywhere. And what is the wall specifically that we're going to?
Charter Wall.
Yeah.
It's the name of the section of the region.
So it's a section. It's not like a building.
Correct.
Okay.
There's a number of buildings.
I'll take a devil's bargain because we need to get in there like stealthily.
A devil's bargain for you. So I'll give you a 3rd die for a devil's bargain for you. Devil's bargain for you. Okay. A devil's bargain specifically for you, Hawk.
Yeah.
You're actually on shift tonight.
Yeah.
So you need to either disguise that you skipped out on your shift or get someone. It will be known that you will not be on shift. You need to find replacement for your guard shift or sneak out and hope no one finds you. So it will be known that you had to take a day off, more or less, from your time as a blue coat.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
3 dice. A 2. Okay, so this die roll works just like all other die rolls. Only the highest one matters. On a 1 to 3 bad start, you are in a desperate position when the action starts.
Not good.
This game works in a non-linear sort of narrative. We're not going to watch you guys leave your hideout, get all your gear on, and fuck off to the mission. We're going to cut from this scene to the mission. And that's sort of how this works. We talked about gear in the green room. This is the next step. You have a mission to infiltrate this place, to acquire this item, and either destroy it or retrieve it. That's all the information you have. Given that information, on your character sheet, underneath your playbook name, there's a load. 3 light, 5 normal, 6 heavy. A light load makes you stealthier. A heavy load makes you louder. A normal load is sort of in the middle. The number is how many items you can check off. You need to tell me what load you are taking. Not what items, and you don't need to check off any items, just what load you are taking. So we'll start with Hawk. Light, normal, or heavy?
Normal.
Normal. All right, go ahead and check that off. Archie, 2 eyes. Light, normal, heavy. Ren.
Light load. Easy job, in and out.
Ren, light, normal, heavy.
Never done this before. Should I do light, Mike?
So,
Should I do normal?
great question. The way this works, and you don't have to check off any items at this time, in the moment in the game, when you think you need an item, you can check off an item. The number is the maximum number of items you can check off. You may never get into a fight, so you don't need a pair of pistols. You may get into a fight where a pair of pistols may come in super handy. We won't know until it happens. So you determine how many items you think you will need for this mission.
And how does that come into play with being more or less like light or heavy? Does that give you a bonus for prowl or what?
That is a more narrative, sort of loosey-goosey with the rules, is if you are trying to prowl with a heavy load, I may make your effect less. So you may have a lower effect because you're so clunky that it may be harder for you to stealth, or easier for you to be detected. The
I'll go
light
with the
versus
light.
normal versus heavy is sort of up to the GM to sort of narrate how that plays in.
I'll do a light load.
Okay? And Patsy, light, medium, or light, normal, or heavy?
I'll go with the light.
Okay.
Light.
Perfect. Okay, we have our engagement roll. We have all of our loads picked out, and now we enter the fray. Enter the fray as to how it goes. You pull out, you unfurl your map, and you note an area marked upon it. Let me change layer to the map. And we're gonna shift click and hope that we can move you guys. We can't. So I'm gonna ping something on the map. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is in Charter Wall, in Charter Hall, on the like center-ish side of the map.
Oh, I see it. What?
There's a little pin
Found
mark
it.
there. Right between the 3rd Street, Clerk Street, and Calavet Road. That is the location to which you are headed to. There you go. I think I pulled you guys over to it now.
Yeah.
As you slip through the twisting alleys of Charter Hall, past rows of sagging brick...
I don't know
I got
where
you.
we are.
I got you. Bling.
Sweet. Thanks.
You slip through the twisting alleys of Charter Hall, past rows of sagging brickwork and broken lamps. The smell of burned paper and mildew clings to your coats. Ahead, Covenant House looms, a scorched husk of a building, its blackened spires clawing at the night sky. Wind rattles broken shutters. The iron gate swings open on a hinge, groaning like a dying thing. Somewhere inside, faint candlelight shivers across soot-smeared windows. Something hangs in the air, an uneasy feeling. The hair on the back of your arms begin to stand. Something is happening here, in this house. This is where you are meant to be. This is where you will find the urn. And whether you destroy it or retrieve it, and how loudly or quietly you get in and out, is entirely up to you. At this moment, you are unnoticed. However, as you stand in the shadows, you see a dozen robed, hooded figures marching in a line, each carrying a flickering blue candle as they enter into the house, all chanting. A ritual is about to begin. They head into the house, the door closes behind them, and you watch the light fade as it walks through various rooms of this house. How do you want to approach?
I think Hawk is more or less walking the beat, even though she's not in her blue coat persona anymore. When she abandoned her post, she would have, whoosh, like swept the cloak off or whatever, or her jacket in a dramatic fashion, and then when the cloak swoops back down and she's revealed, she's like in her Hawk disguise, her alias, and she's walking down Clerk Street. Where side is the front door on?
The Covenant House is between the alleys of the buildings in the center of that area. So Clerk House is actually inside that like open courtyard area.
Oh, okay. I thought that whole L-shaped thing was the building.
No, those are all rows of buildings, like row houses.
Oh. Okay. Shit. Okay. So, getting in there, I guess. Is there a way to get in? like
There's
normally?
a front gate and a front door. You just watch them walk into it.
I can
Okay.
offer up a distraction if we want. Little
Ooh.
Just so you know,
music.
on your crew sheet, I am starting a clock. The clock is called Ritual Completion. It is a 6-segment
Rude.
clock. And when that ritual completes, whatever ritual they are conducting will have happened.
Okay.
Failing rolls can progress enemy clocks.
Ren is going to scale the side of the building that is not on a main road and go over the rooftops and get a peek inside of the courtyard.
Ooh, interesting. Go ahead and that sounds like a prowl to me. Go ahead and roll me prowl, unless you think it's something else.
It could be prowl. It could be hunt, right? Because I'm hunting a target and gathering information about its location and movements.
I can fuck with that. Go for it. Roll me a hunt. I will say, because of the way this started, it is going to be your position is going to be desperate, and your effect is going to be standard. A 6 is a full
Nice.
success. Hell fucking yes. Cool. So you quietly climb up a buttress, covered in ivy. You make your way up onto a nearby roof. And you begin to peer over the sides of the roof, watching.
Do I get an EXP?
Yes, you do. You get to mark XP under.
Insight.
Yes, under insight, correct. One of the little daggers next to insight. Hell yeah. Cool. So you climb up over this, and you watch, and we'll say you're doing Overwatch as these dozen or so cultists begin to walk in through here. With a success, what are you looking for? And then I'll add some flavor to that.
I'm mostly looking for the number of people, like what they're doing. I don't know what I'm looking at, so I am just doing like an initial peek. I think
Sure.
they also have like sign language, right? So she can sign back to her party.
Yeah. You're a crew. You have some sort of silent communication. That's totally acceptable for sure. Okay. You clock 12 people. Absolutely. With a 6, so that's a full success. You clock a dozen people. You see that each one is carrying a candle, two-handed, one hand like underneath with the candle resting on top, the other hand holding it. They're all in the same thing. They're all chanting in unison, except you can see that the way that they're moving, that under their cloaks, they are clothed but also carrying something a little bulky. Each one of them is carrying something bulky. You're not entirely sure what it could be because the cloak, the cloak is sort of like a robe, like it covers the whole thing. But you can see it as they move. It sort of shifts and like hits the side. It could be something like a long gun. It could be something like a blade or a bat of some kind under their cloak. But you think they are probably armed. For sure. They are chanting, they are beginning to perform some sort of ritual, and as you watch from where you are, you get a better vantage point into the house. There are many rooms in the house. You watch as the candle spirals through the house and then disappears to the lower level. So there is a basement in this house. You think that's probably where the ritual is being performed. And based on what you learned about the cult activity and the worship activity, that's probably where the urn would be.
So the house is inside of the courtyard.
Correct.
It's not these outer houses. It's
Correct.
inside of the courtyard,
Yep.
and then in the basement of this. Okay.
Also
Great.
correct.
So Ren will signal the rest of the group about all of that, and then we'll wait for orders from Hawk.
Yeah, since she didn't really get a chance, I totally misinterpreted what I was looking at. She's going to prowl on the ground level and like follow at a discreet distance under the arch, like through the gate, and follow them as best she can.
You want to follow the cultists into the house.
Yeah, or at least into the courtyard.
Okay. That's a prowl. That's a desperate. And what is your desired effect? Like, what are you trying to get out of this?
Do they have anyone covering them?
To find that out? That's what you wanted to find out? Go ahead and roll with standard.
So prowl. Is this as risky? Sorry, you said
Desperate.
Desperate. Oh, fucking prowl, desperate, standard. Yay!
A 6. Check off that XP. That is a full success. So here's what I'll say. Rather than like doing the reveal of your blue cloak, you sort of flip it and turn it like inside out and like a pseudo hood as you make your way in, and you begin to follow. And Ren, you track as you're counting, and you see one of them that has their hands out but no candle. And you recognize immediately that's Hawk. And Hawk, you have slid in behind these guys. And as you're kind of peeking around the courtyard, you see a glint on the roof. That is Ren. And you begin to walk through, and as you're looking, you see into the windows of the house. The house is not lit. The first person goes in and sort of illuminates with their candle as they begin to slowly move their way through the house. You think this house seems to be empty, other than the 12 people that are going in here. They seem to be your only, bodies in this place.
Okay. I liked how you said that, like, I have the cloak. Can I add that as one of my items? Subterfuge supplies or something? That I have cultist cloak?
If you want to.
It's like, I don't know, because then I'll have an actual cultist cloak that I can use.
Yep. So if it's not listed on your actual... There you go. Subterfuge supplies, perfect.
Yeah, that's the best I can see.
Okay. That is what you do. Now, do you follow them in, or do you break off before you get in the house?
I think maybe we'd like cut over to what Patsy and Two Eyes are doing first before I make a decision. Can we do that?
Absolutely. Archie and Patsy, what are you doing?
Patsy will drop his goggles on. He's got dark sight goggles, and he will stealth around the house looking for any lookouts they may have posted or sentries they may have posted.
In the house?
If he can get in the house, he will, yeah.
Okay. So a similar action to what Hawk was doing. So Hawk, here's what I'll say. Hawk and Ren more or less covered the outside of the house. If you want to get inside the house, tell me how you would do that.
Patsy will look for a window or a door or something he can pry open and make his way into the house.
Okay. In that case, I think that will also be a prowl. I think that will be desperate, and I think that will be standard.
Okay. You see Patsy go up to the window, and he's got his gloves on, and just before he's about to open the window, you see him take his gloves off, and then put his hands on the window. So
just so that there's more evidence that he was there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, again, as a reminder, at any point in time before you actually make the roll, if you think an item would come into play here that you have and you want to check off, you're welcome to let me know. I will also introduce another aspect of the game, which I don't know if it necessarily feels right here, but it could apply anywhere. The reason we don't do so much prep work ahead of time and the reason we jump right into the action is a fun mechanic called the flashback mechanic. At the cost of 2 stress, you can flashback in time and say, I set this thing up. There may be a roll if necessary. If not, you just did it. For example, not necessarily for you to use right now, Snow, you could say, earlier in the day, I came here and opened this window, unlocked it so I could get in later. That could be a flashback. Should you get accosted by a blue coat, Hawk, you could flash back and say, actually, this is a buddy of mine, and I told him I would be in here, and it's that guy, so he just kind of waves us off. Flashback, cost of 2 stress points, right? So, Patsy, you want to break into this window. You take the gloves off. You begin to shimmy this up. Go ahead, a prowl at desperate and controlled. Or standard, rather. Desperate and standard. A 5.
5.
A 5 is a partial success. You take the gloves off, you begin to shimmy the window up, and fortunately for you, it is not, in fact, locked. And you begin to pull yourself in, and as you do so, you grab onto what is like a chest of drawers, and you pull yourself over, and as you do, you shake it a little bit, and you watch out of the corner of your eye as an unlit candelabra shimmies off the corner, and thunk, thunk, thunk. For a second, Hawk, you see someone in the house holding a candle stop and sort of look around and continue on. I am going to start a clock. No pips in the clock, but I'm going to start a clock that is cult alert. This is going to be a 4-pip clock, a 4-segment clock. If this fills up, the cult will be aware that you are trying to infiltrate their hideout. Okay? So you have created a clock. You are in the house, Patsy. Before we go back to you, Archie, what do you want to do here?
Well, first of all, he kind of wanted some answers, like, so no distraction then, since everyone just sort of went away after he asked. So it's like, okay, I guess no distraction.
Yeah. I would say no distraction yet, because we don't know what we're dealing with.
You can tell in his signaling that he's disappointed, but he would then join up to Hawk, probably just waiting for like his moment, his part of the job.
Okay. I imagine Archie as like the guy in Atlantis, the cartoon movie with the guy who like blows shit up, and he's like, he's just got like dynamite in his hand. Time for boom now.
Why do you think a show's exploding gas?
Yeah.
You want to explode now? No. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I also think like a big thing would be for Archie to cover our exit if we need to make one. So there could be other times where he would come into use, but covering an exit would be
if you ever let Archie choose, every time is explosion time. Just so you're aware.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. Hawk, you feel a presence behind you, and you can kind of glance back, and you see Archie is behind you. Ren, you also see this, and Ren, I'll say you also see, from your vantage point, you see Patsy slip in through a window.
Yeah. So then Ren's next step. I don't know what kind of mechanics this game has, so I'm just going to do what's in my head.
Go for it.
Ren has a dog as well, a greyhound, and it is I don't know if this is appropriate, ghostly greyhound. So you can kind of see through the first layer of the greyhound skin into its ribs and beating heart. And so Ash is always with Ren, and so Ash is going to leap from the top of the rooftop she's on now across to the rooftop of the building in the center of the courtyard. Yeah. And there is going to swing down, assassin style, right through that same window that the Patsy entered.
The dog is, or Ren is?
No, both. Both
okay,
together.
Awesome, outstanding. In that case,
it's like a smoky thing that follows her.
Fuck yeah, absolutely appropriate. That's awesome.
All right, great.
On your character sheet, go ahead and check off a trained hunting pet as an item you have brought with you.
All right, no, I already have it.
Oh, that's right. The ones on the top don't count for your load. That's right. I forgot. So you head down. You slink down there into that, and you are in the house. Patsy, you see this ghostly greyhound sort of leap in slinkily through the door, and then you see Ren sort of slide in back there. Ren, I will have you make me a prowl. I think at this point it is not desperate. You've kind of gotten in the house. The cultists are mostly downstairs. So I will say this is a risky standard move. Iquin, are you raising your hand or trying to get your camera to focus?
Trying to get my camera to focus.
Okay, cool. So this is a prowl risky standard. Success,
Nice.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It happens exactly as you described. You were in there. Patsy, Ren, what Ash was the dog's name?
Ash, yeah.
Hell yeah. All of you appear into the room. I will say you are all in. You look around, and you are in a what amounts to be like a dining room. Almost. You see there is a large table, and everything here is like sort of either has some like charring, as it like you saw that the outside of the building, like the rooftops of this building were like scorched and charred. It looks as though a fire happened here. You see this table was a very sturdy wooden table, heavily lacquered. Some of it has withstood a fire, but you do see there is the crackle marks of fire along the top of this. You see that there are chairs in various stages of disarray. There is a hutch full of like shattered glass and plates and like fine china or fine cutlery and dishware. There is the chest of drawers where you are. There's another one. There's a little butler's pantry over in the corner, and there are two doors exiting this back towards the main part of the house. But that is the room that you see yourselves in. As you see the last of the candle-wielding cultists sort of heading down a hallway, as you can kind of see their light passing on the wall, and you watch them descend down into a set of stairs around the corner. Ren, Patsy, you are inside the house. Hawk, Archie, do you follow the cultists in?
Yep, I'm walking in because I have the candle and the hood.
Yep.
The cloak, so I'm gonna follow them as if I'm one of them.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah, I'm just
is your
gonna
plan to
follow-
follow them into the basement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Melissa, that was the most evil encouragement I've ever seen you perform.
You gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
Yes. Go in the basement. Archie, are you also following?
I don't look like I don't have the like what do you call it? The clothing part. So I would follow more of that distance to just go in and try to meet up with Brennan and Patrick.
Okay, so you break off and you sort of meet in the dining room with Ren and Patsy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna venture down where it's only cults or people who look like the cult. That feels a bit too much for my prowling ability.
Yeah, like I feel like she is gonna follow, but she's reserving the right to stop. And like if she if say it's like a spiral staircase or something, and she can look and see she's opening, like she's entering in a huge room and they're all taking off their cloaks and they're all like, hey everybody or whatever. It's like, well, she's just gonna stop and like boop, 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 and like back up.
Yeah, so I'll say,
you know what I mean?
Archie, you break off from the group and you kind of let Ren and Patsy in on the fact that Hawk is continuing to follow the group, right? Because you were there the longest. Hawk, as you get so basically you walk through the front door where there's the main hall. You see on your left hand side there is an exterior courtyard, like a what do you call those with the glass roof, like an arboretum almost.
Atrium.
Like an atrium, that's the word. You see there's an atrium, the glass is shattered. As you continue to walk through, you see the dining hall that Ren and Patsy are in. You see that's where Archie sort of breaks off. The hallway continues down to where you see open doors for dormitories, like bedrooms, that have been refurnished. And then the hallway cuts to the right and then down into a staircase. You see that there's a number of rooms on the right-hand side that the hallway sort of passes by that are both the doors are closed. You head down that hallway, and you see the staircase is a straight shot down as you are following these guys.
Okay.
Do you continue?
Yep.
Okay. Archie, you can explain to Ren and Patsy what has just happened, and the three of you are inside the dining room. What are the three of you doing?
Can I do a flashback?
Absolutely. What's your flashback?
We have a scene of Ren. Sorry, I can't remember my own name. Ren speaking to Lord Rivenholt and getting like some material that is like scented, that smells like the house, that might smell like the urn, and for the hound. And so then back in this moment, Ren will say to Ash, "Find it," and then Ash will take off.
Interesting. Hell yeah, dude. Okay. So that to me sounds like a 1 stress flashback. Flashbacks cost either 1 or 2 stress. So the way this works is stress is like your, it's kind of like Cypher System where it is both your hit points and also a commodity. It's kind of like your hit points. Once you max out on stress, you begin to take trauma. Trauma is not good. When you hit all 4 trauma, you trauma out and you are out of the scene. You are done with the scene. Harm is your actual hit points. Once you hit 3 harm, you die. Just straight up dead. So stress can be used for flashbacks. It can be used for devil's bargains. It can be used to help someone else. It can be used to protect other people in combat. That is a 1 stress flashback. You have the scent of the urn. For him to find this, yes?
Oh, continue.
For him to find this, I think this is going to be a hunt roll. With the flashback, I think this is going to be... I think this is either going to be controlled standard or risky standard. What are your thoughts? Risky is the default. Do you think having the scent would sort of give you more control over the situation? There's less risk to this because you have the scent?
Would the hound be more successful? Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I think this is a controlled standard effect.
And the dog is partially incorporeal. Or is incorporeal. So
Yeah. It's like a smoky, semi-transparent greyhound.
Love that. So yeah, this will be controlled standard.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Regarding Ash, is the dog corporeal? Can the dog travel through walls and floors and shit?
No, I don't know how this works.
That is in fact a great question, and the answer is yes, if you roll correctly. Permeating through the world, and especially Duskfall, is essentially the way I thought about it when I was playing is in the Matrix, when Neo can see the code, there is actually an underlying echo of the world. There's a term for it in the game, and it's called the ghost something, ghost field. So everything in the world has a sort of ghost echo. And if you can access the ghost field, you can manipulate ghostly, incorporeal things. So if you would like Ash to be able to pass through a wall and access the ghost field, that would require a successful attune roll. Anyone can attune to the ghost field and access that kind of thing. There are certain classes or playbooks that are better at it, namely a whisper, but anyone can access the ghost field. But
that's not what Ren is going to do right now, though. Ash is going to be going like the path that Ren could go, so that Ren could follow Ash.
Perfect,
right?
perfect. Absolutely.
Yeah, this was just for something I was thinking for later on.
Yeah. You move out. You follow Ash out of the dining hall and sort of into the hallway that Hawk had gone through. And as I said, on the left-hand side of that hallway are dormitories. On the right-hand side were 2 closed doors. You see Ash sort of pawing at one of the doors, a set of double doors into this room. Begins pawing at this as if asking for you to open the door. You quietly open the door. Ash moves in and begins slinking through. Immediately, you recognize this as some sort of library. Again, some of the shelves are decrepit and burned, but several more of them have been re-added to this house as they are new. And there are books lining these shelves, and you see that Ash, male or female dog?
Female.
Melissa? Okay. Ash, she is sniffing around these, and you see her kind of looping in and out as if, not necessarily confused, but like perhaps the smell is like was here. And you see her move to the back of the room, and there is a shelf that she is at, and on the shelf, you see marks on the shelf where several urns had been. Like a little bit of dust around them, or a little bit of displacement had been, and you see that she is pawing at something on this shelf. It appears to be a bust of what is arguably a humanoid. On like the right side of the bust, it seems to be like an elegant, well-to-do man, sort of slicked back hair, sort of like coiffed mustache. And on the right-hand side, it seems to be an artist's rendition of what would happen if a man was slowly pulled apart from one side of their body. So their face is sort of stretched, their eye stretches, their hair is sort of mangled upward. And you think, based on the research you had found before, this is some sort of statuette of a representation of a demon. And Ash, she's pawing at that rough placement.
But it isn't the urn.
It is not the urn.
It looks like something the Ash Marked would value because it's maybe a demon of some sort.
Perhaps.
How big is this thing?
The bust, it's probably like 8 inches tall.
Okay. Ren will go and investigate it, pick it up, look underneath it.
You go to pick it up, like the way someone would normally pick it up, like just lifting it, and it does not lift.
Twist, maybe?
You give it a twist, and the shelf you are at slides over. And behind that wall, you see what looks to be a strange chamber covered in like these blue candles, and you see a large ritual space in the center. That of the floor has been removed. You see burn marks all around it, and a large piece of glass or something like glass, like stained glass, has been placed in the floor. And through that, you can see figures moving around in the basement. And Ash stands there and sort of like does the point where like they kind of make their body arrow-like, as if pointing towards the glass below.
So if I get it, it's just like a skylight?
Yes, except in the floor. It's a skylight
In
for a
the floor.
basement.
Okay, great.
Floor light.
A floor light,
Perfect.
yeah.
Ren's really liking this, so it's dark in this room?
It is. Oh, well, there are candles lit, but most of them are out. But there are hundreds of candles around.
But it is dark in
It is
this
dark.
room.
Yep.
But it's light down in the other room. So
You
it would
can
be
see
very
that there
difficult.
are a number of candles in the other room, and as you look, there are 12 candles in the other room below you.
Great. Ren will send Ash to go communicate this to Archie and Patsy.
Okay. Ash quickly heads back to the dining room and communicates this in Scooby-Doo style to Archie and Patsy. There's Timmy. He's in the well. He needs help. What are the two? What are Archie and Patsy? What are the two of you doing?
Archer would go over there immediately. It might be that Ren needs some help with, some demolition help with the floor. It's always potential that Ren needs some demolition help with the floor.
There's
Yeah.
always potential for demolition. So Archie,
That was
you
my
head out.
second question.
What's your second question?
Yeah.
The second question was how explodey, or is this exploding gas?
It's as
Um,
explodey as he rolls.
mhm.
My idea is just to collapse the ceiling down on them when we need to.
Interesting. Archie, you head out. Patsy?
Patsy is looking for a dumbwaiter or a set of servant stairs. You mentioned there was a butler's pantry, so he's looking for another way downstairs.
Ooh, interesting. You look around. No roll necessary. You do find the remnants of a dumbwaiter, but the dumbwaiter would have gone up, not to the basement. The basement seems to be like a servants only sort of area, not like a wine cellar where a respectable gentleman would be. So there is no actual secondary access to the basement. Actually, a dumbwaiter. I'm wrong. A dumbwaiter would go down. No one's carrying things upstairs in the Victorian era. So you find the dumbwaiter, and the dumbwaiter. The problem with the dumbwaiter is that because of the fire on the first floor, the cables are not quite like they don't go up as far as they did because there's no pulley at the top. Those have been singed, so you will need to rework this dumbwaiter to get it to continue to go down. If only you
But
had
the
a master
dumbwaiter
tinker.
itself is still there.
The dumbwaiter itself is still there.
I think Patsy will have an attempt to get that operation.
Hell yeah. That's going to be a tinker roll.
And he's going to have with him some burglary gear.
Okay.
If you could use anything there to help.
Yeah. I will give you the cultists are downstairs. You have some tools. I will say this is a controlled standard.
Nope.
Ooh. 2 is not a good look here. So, unfortunately, on a controlled, the bonus to these controlled versus risky, on a controlled, if you fail, you can either withdraw and nothing happens, or you can re-roll as a risky. So I will tell you the consequences. If you continue to tinker on this, you risk the dumbwaiter falling to the basement and making a loud noise. You can either withdraw, stop where you are, no effect happens, or re-roll as a risky standard.
If it was just himself, he'd probably try it, but he's with a crew, so he's going to withdraw.
Okay. You realize that perhaps a master tinker could assist in this, to which you have someone known to be a tinker in your crew. But you do know that the dumbwaiter does connect to the basement, likely to some sort of old storage larder. And that is a way to get down there. Hawk, you have made it to the edge of the basement. You have seen the group sort of go down. There is a little bit of a hallway at the end of the stairs that leads them to a kind of a wraparound hallway that leads them into another room. As you can kind of see them like moving in like a kind of like an S shape into another room. Do you continue down?
Yes.
Okay. You continue down into the room. You see the cellar sort of expands. On the right-hand wall, there is storage that sort of goes all the way across. A couple of rooms of storage, different like larders. One probably for wine, one probably for dry goods, one probably for like root vegetables. And you continue down, and you see this room as they are opening into that has hundreds of unlit candles. As they begin to circle around, you watch as they circle around and match the shape of a large stained glass window above them.
Interesting. Okay, she will hang back. She's not gonna. I don't think she's gonna follow them into this circular pattern.
Okay.
Does she see any urns in this room?
Yes.
How many? 12?
You see a dozen, one for each person.
Okay.
Where does she see those?
On the
Mhm.
floor. You watch as they enter, and they are lining up with the matching the circle of the overhead stained glass like circular window, and positioned equidistant apart. The first person goes and stops at one. The next person stops, kind of like a rotary phone. They stop at each one of the urns.
Okay. And how big is this room in general?
Probably like a 10 by 12 foot room. So like your standard like bedroom size room.
Okay, so fucking small. Okay. I was imagining like some kind of like big, huge, like kind of corridor type shit. And how high is the ceiling?
Like 12 feet or 10 feet. That's a standard, I think, size.
Oh, okay. So this is a really fucking small place.
It's
Okay.
a regular room. It's a regular basement room. Not like
Yeah.
vaulted ceiling.
I was thinking like cathedral height type of stuff.
Oh no. This is just like a regular basement.
Okay.
A very mundane basement.
Yes. Where cult shit happens.
Yeah, that's where all cult shit happens, in mundane basements.
Yeah.
Yes. It's fine. We can just fix the floor on the upper level, and you will have much larger to ceiling room.
And we obviously have a description of what the urn we're after looks like.
Correct.
Okay, so
And
I can
you see the specific urn that you're after is here.
Okay. She's gonna cut back a little bit, back to the larder,
Okay.
and she's gonna glance around. Is there like a dumb waiter or anything like that in this room, or
As you cut back,
random?
I'm going to need you to make me a roll to
Okay.
not be noticed as the 13th member of the 12-person cult.
Okay.
So I'm going to need you to make me a prowl. I think, given that you are alone in a basement with 12 potentially armed cultists, and your friends are, though a mere 10 feet away, they are 10 feet away vertically. I think this is going to be a desperate roll, because if shit goes bad for you, the cultists are going to stab you, for sure. And I think this is going to be, great effect. So either they're going to notice you and immediately attack, or they're not going to notice you and you slink away perfectly. So this is going to be a desperate great. And this will be a prowl. And if you have an item you think might be here, or, I'll throw this in there again, if you would like to take a devil's bargain to reduce either the desperate to a risky or the great to a standard, you can ask for one, and I may have that for you.
Well, first of all, what is a spirit bane charm?
Stops you from getting possessed or attacked by spirits.
Okay. That seemed like that could be handy in this.
You have your subterfuge stuff, so you could maybe use that as a bonus.
Yeah, my subterfuge supplies, I think, should get a bonus where they might, maybe they're cultists, they might not be the smartest cultists in the box, you know, so they could not, they're looking, they're not like looking back going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then so they see someone who it might be out of place, so it might give me a second to like duck back or something like that.
Okay,
so
I'll take that, and I will say this will be a desperate standard.
Sweet. Desperate standard. And do I get that's reducing the thingy, so I don't get a bonus dice? Correct? Okay.
Now, if you want, you can go desperate great and get a bonus dice. You get one or the other. Either I'll reduce it from great to a standard, or you'll get a bonus dice at great.
That's interesting. Like, so what? So the consequences would be lowered in theory.
Yep.
Is that
so the
what lowering?
consequences would be at great, they're going to attack you before your friends have a chance to do anything. At standard, they're going to recognize you, but you might have a second to either say something, fucking book it, or do something else. That's basically it. So either they're going to realize it before you have time to react, or you're going to have time to react. Great is they realize before you react.
Yeah.
Risky is, standard is you have time to react.
So desperate. So I think I'm going to take the bonus dice.
Okay, so desperate, great, bonus
Great.
dice.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's a full success. That's a full success. Fuck yeah. I love these moments. So desperate, check off another prowess because you have another XP in that.
Nice.
And on a success, on this level, I want you to describe to me how you perfectly, succinctly slink away of this group without any notice exactly to where you want to be.
Yeah. So you said it was a straight shot down this staircase.
Correct.
And so the room's not as big as I thought. It's like I thought I'd be like walking down steps, kind of like the steps of Moria or something.
No.
Funky like that, you know.
It's a house.
So like,
You're just in a
yeah.
house.
So she's getting a view of the room before she's actually at the bottom of the steps, right?
Yep.
More or less. So she's seeing the circle of urns, and when she gets to the bottom, she can see the thing. She can see the skylight in the ceiling, and she sees the urn, which is their target. So before the cultists have started like making their little circle, right? So before the cultist in the lead has like turned and being able to see around like the cover of their hood, she's backed up and ducked into the larder.
Okay, perfect. And because you asked before, you do see that there is a dumbwaiter. You see the open cabin, like you see the door is slid open, and you see an open cavity to which you see a number of like cabled spools around there. The dumbwaiter is up.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that. Okay. That'll be her for now.
Okay. Ren, Archie, you are in the room with the stained glass window. Patsy, you are in the room with the dumbwaiter. What are the three of you doing?
Ren, you want some help clearing this up so we can get down fast? Yes.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Archie. Go for it. And does Ren have a rifle? Ren has a rifle, right?
Let's see. Ren has a fine long rifle or a fine pair of pistols.
Great. We're going with a fine long rifle.
Okay, that is two of your three items.
How can I do? But it's under italics. Don't count for load. Oh, italics don't count for load. Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
I need a rifle.
The items in gray are exclusive to your class. The items in white are everyone gets those. The items in italics don't count. You just have that.
I feel like I've made a good decision here.
Yeah.
So in whatever Archie is doing, Ren will accompany him by hitting the glass with the butt of the rifle. But go for it, Archie.
Outstanding.
I would
And
like
I still
to
have
use-
an action after he does whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to use then the flashback of see, while Archie was working on the exploding gas, he also looked over to the other side of his workshop and was like, "Oh, I had those from the previous jobs," and he has packed with him demolition tools, which is for Archie always explosives. But these are, old-fashioned. Someone else made them explosives, not as top-notch as the exploding gas ones.
Hell yeah. So check that off. That is two of your three items.
And I think just to add some like flavor into this flashback, it's like as the crew's discussing, it's like we've coined this maneuver, as above, so below, where he's like either gonna blow something up or blow something down and make it rain, essentially.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
How much stress is it for that?
I will say bringing something you already had ready at your hideout is going to be one stress.
Okay, 1 stress. Right, so Archie's going to do the normal amount of preparations you always see him do. He's like super used to this, so it's like quick and efficient. He will set the explosives. They will like knock, examine the area for like 30 seconds, then place the explosives in such a way that the minimal amount of explosives will give the maximum amount of results. So he's going for taking down the sky window thingy, but make sure that the entire upper floor doesn't fall down. Just like very controlled demolition for
Okay.
exactly what he wants to go down.
Okay. All right.
And he will also he will communicate with everyone he can communicate with. Like, this is going to fall. Don't stand here. This is safe. Stand here.
Okay. This is going to be a rec roll. This is going to be
Yes.
controlled and great effect. Now, I'm going to bring in a mechanic that I forgot about. You can push yourself by taking 2 stress to receive 1 extra die, or, as we have said before, you can take a devil's bargain for 1 extra die. Currently, you are
I
rolling
want a
with 2
devil's
dice.
bargain.
Devil's bargain?
I want a devil's bargain. Yeah, let's
Okay.
give me a devil's bargain. What you got?
On the devil's bargain is the house is so decrepit that
Love it.
this explosion will start a new clock as the house crumbles in on itself.
Woohoo!
It was a quick in and out. I'll take it.
Okay, so that is a devil's bargain. I will start a new clock for you. That is 1 bonus dice on top of this. And I will say you will get 1 bonus dice for your demolition tools.
So that's 2 bonus dice
2
total.
bonus
then.
dice.
Yes. And submit.
Oh.
A 4.
A 4.
4.
Okay,
Still
that's
not that terrible.
It's
No,
success.
still not that terrible.
Okay. It was controlled. So on a 4, on a controlled roll, you can withdraw and stop what's happening. Or you can succeed with a minor consequence.
No, we're blowing shit up. There is no withdrawing
Okay.
when you get Archie. When you
Okay.
get Archie started, there is no withdrawing. This
Okay.
floor is going down.
You don't have 2 eyes and retreat.
Okay.
No, Archie 2 eyes.
That's
See?
true. That's true. Okay. The minor consequence is, first I want to ask, Ren, are you still in the room?
yeah, because Archie told her where to stand.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
The minor consequence is that Archie miscalculated the safe zone versus the danger zone. The explosion will go off. You will not be caught in the explosion, but he underestimated the tensile strength of a burnt down floor. The 2 of you will fall in the room after the fall. So the 2 of you will... Go ahead.
Can I take my action mid-fall?
Yes, because I think that's going to be cool. However, both of you will take a level 1 harm. That is just called fall damage. So in the level 1 harm on the left-hand side, just write fall damage.
Okay.
All right, Ren, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Kaboom!
Yeah, it's exactly that. So it's a much quieter, like 3, 2, boom. The floor shatters, the glass rains down, as cultists shriek, as this stained glass shatters down, raining shards on them. The rocks and stone, like the brickwork and the stone, begins to, and the wood begins to fall in, and you guys look at each other, and there's that moment of like, fuck yeah, that back and forth, that like Soderbergh triangles, Ocean's 11 style, with the thumbs up, and then you hear this sick cracking sound, and you watch, Ren, you watch as Archie drops 2 inches, and his eyes go wide, and the floor begins to crack, and he falls, and as a second you like go to reach, and boom, you begin to fall as well. What's your action in the air, Ren? You are dropping 10 feet.
So Ren jumps as the floor begins to collapse.
Yeah.
Cocks her rifle, and we are going to sharpshooter. It says I can unleash a barrage of rapid fire to suppress enemy. I don't want to use the rapid fire and barrage for that. I want to shoot all of the urns.
She wants to 360 no scope these bitches.
Yeah, all the urns.
Okay.
As I'm falling through the air.
Melissa, I think
Okay.
I see all of the Texan in you right now.
I fucks with it.
She's like Celine from Underworld. She like shoots the floor out with her machine
The
pistol and she
machine gun that
falls
just falls.
through.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be, and you have a fine weapon too. Fuck me. So fine weapons actually increase the tier of the effect. Okay, this is going to be. This is not controlled. I think this is going to be. I'm gonna say desperate. If you want to argue for risky, I'll hear your argument. But the ground is falling beneath you. Your companion is falling beneath you. You technically have no idea where Hawk is. Might still be a cultist. The cultists are scattering. You're just sort of like rapid firing a rifle, like basically fanning the hammer on a rifle. Wantonly destruction as you are falling. I think desperate. I'll hear an argument for risky if you think otherwise.
I want to say this. Ren was already prepared to Leroy Jenkins this moment, right?
Okay.
It was already happening.
Okay.
So the floor falling in was just the floor falling in. And Ren's also not the type to really like get nervous or upset. So the fact that the floor is falling in is just like a normal day with Archie, right? So
Okay.
I think she's got her shit together as she's falling through the air, firing her rifle.
As above, so
That's
below.
all I got for bullshit, Mike. Was that good?
That was good. I can fuck with that. Okay. Yes, I'll take risky. So this is going to be a risky. I think this is going to be a risky great.
Okay, risky, great. And then I want to like really make sure that I succeed. So what do I do to really succeed? Make sure I succeed, because this is the objective, right? Get rid of destroy the urn.
Destroy the urn. So either push yourself by taking 2 stress, which is the easy option, or take a devil's bargain, which I just make up some bullshit, and you have to live with the consequences. 2 stress is the easy choice, especially on your first mission.
I'm gonna do the 2 stress because I want to give us the best shot possible of having no witnesses when this is all over. And you would be like, yeah, but the guy sneaks out. So I don't want that to happen. So 2 stress, 2 more stress.
Okay, just to be clear, the roll you're making is to shoot the urns.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make that roll.
And I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I'm doing
actually,
hunt.
It's not hunt. It is. Oh no, wait. It is hunt. It is hunt.
It is.
Hunt. Yep.
So it's risky. What?
Risky great.
Risky great. And then I'm gonna get 2 dice. Is that right?
1 bonus die.
1 bonus die. I don't get 2 of those. Okay. Cross fingers. 5.
A 5 is under risky. A 5 is you do it but suffer a consequence.
Right.
What is the consequence that you suffer here?
Twisted
Shoot,
ankle.
Archie.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is, right? I think you would have taken fall damage, right, from just landing, but you jumped up in the air and then you spent all of like your physicality in aiming and firing this thing. So all of your like mental space was in like here as you're firing, loading, and you did not think about the landing. So you land. And you land hard and roll the ankle, and you sort of like, it looks cool though, Melissa. You land and you sort of like do like almost like a dodge to the side as you like doom, and you hit the last one, and it looks like you intended to like launch onto your side, almost baseball slide. In reality, you probably just broke your ankle. So I will say harm level 1 on the other side of your fall damage one, sprained ankle.
So 1 sprained ankle.
Yep,
Okay.
next to the fall damage one. There should be 2 boxes there.
Okay, got it. Did the urn blow up?
You've shattered
God.
all of the urns. Patsy, you hear an explosion as like you're walking to the room after you like deal with the dumbwaiter. You're like, you just hear Go! Poof! An explosion happens, and then you just hear pow, 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 pow. Just 12 rapid-fire rifle shots, followed by screaming, panic, a cacophony of sound. Patsy, what are you doing in this scenario?
Patsy was returning to see if he could get Archie to help him with the dumbwaiter, but I guess Archie found another way down.
That's true. He made a third option.
Yep.
So, can we do a flashback
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
when Patsy was claiming he was one of the Ash,
Yeah.
whatever they were called?
What would you like to happen in this
and
flashback?
You see him calm the policeman's whistle.
Oh. Okay. I think this is the first time we're going to have a roll on a flashback. Okay, so I think this is going to be a finesse roll. And I think this is going to be risky standard. Risky standard finesse roll. If you'd like to push yourself or take a devil's bargain, you can.
I'll probably push myself, take some
Okay.
stress.
So 2 stress to push yourself for an extra dice. Do you think any items that you have could be useful in this scenario?
I don't think there'd be anything obvious that
Okay.
he could use.
So this will be a finesse roll with a bonus die for pushing yourself. Yeah.
So it was desperate,
No, I think this is going to be just risky standard.
risky standard.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. So you succeed with a consequence. So the blue coat feels you grab at him, but doesn't realize what you're grabbing, right? So you still get the whistle. But in response of you reaching for an officer, he fucking clocks you in the face. So you essentially started this mission with a black eye. So under harm 1, you have a black eye. Outstanding. So we flash, and that will cost you. I'll say that was a pretty risky move. I'll say that will cost you 2 stress to try to steal from a cop, to pickpocket a cop. Sounds like a two stress situation. So we flash back to the moment. We retroactively see Patsy's black eye as you hear the explosion.
Yeah,
the shots go off.
Yeah. He gets to the where Ren and Archie was, looks down, pulls out the whistle, and just blows it.
Perfect. Hawk, from wherever you are, you hear a telltale blue coat whistle. Basically like a cop siren. As you hear this sound, and you know instinctively that in the next 5 to 10 minutes, police will be here. So with that, guys, you outran all my other clocks. I'm starting another clock. This is a 4-segment clock, and this is called Outrun the Pigs.
Outrun the bacon bits.
Outrun the pigs. So you need 4 successes collectively on this to get out of here and outrun the police. The cult, which I guess they're alerted. The cult is very alerted. That one
What?
failed.
They think it's just structural damage.
Yeah, they think the
The house
explosion,
just collapsed on its
explosion
own.
and the gunfire was structural.
Oh,
It was
yeah, I forgot
structural
about the gun.
bombs and guns.
So strict.
Yeah.
I have a plan for this, Mike. I do have a contingency plan for this.
Okay, here's what I will say.
The
cultists are going to realize what's happening in a second and begin attacking. The cultists are actively trying to prevent you from succeeding at the outrun the pigs clock. Go.
Is there a door to any of these rooms that is from where we are to the exit?
There's a door back up the stairs.
So that's
Right.
the only way out, is the stairs.
So
Correct.
So Archie's Archie's goal here is then to get himself and Ren on the other side of that door as fast as possible because exploding gas, baby. I want to have a flashback to when he finished the last part of the exploding gas to have for this mission because that is some awesome demolition shit. And
Okay.
his aim here is to blow the cult up with the house. You know, the cops can't find any evidence if they all exploded.
You know, you got me there. Okay, this is going to be a 2 stress flashback, and then just make me your tinker roll, controlled standard.
And I'm doing something to aid them. Because I'm assuming the cultists are going to be like following / maybe trying to escape themselves. I don't know.
Probably. We'll find out what he does.
Let's see. Control standard.
Yep.
And right, there were I didn't get a bonus die. I get a bonus 1 to the result of the highest die. Let's go. And 5, so that's a 6.
That's a 6. So you have completed your bomb. How do you plan on using this?
So my plan, like the original plan before the first shot is fired, where all plans go to hell, was to get me and Ren on the other side of that door, spray the gas through the keyhole inside the other enclosed space, and then just have some kind of, delayed spark because the gas is highly flammable, explosive. A spark is enough to set it off. So just, be on safe side, fill room with gas, set detonation device, book it, whole house goes up in the explosion. That is the original plan.
I have something for that.
So, Hawk, Archie, and Ren will need to get out of the basement before this happens. I will need a roll from each of you to get out of the basement. How do you all want to do that? Hawk, you said you had something for that.
Well, you said there was casks of wine in here. As soon as Ren and Archie pass the larder door, Hawk spins out and she's throwing these casks of wine down the stairs, like rolling them down the stairs to give them.
Everything's on one level. It's one basement, so you can roll them out. You can roll them out.
Okay.
You can still same effect. You can roll. They're big barrels. So you can roll them. Okay, so you're trying to cause chaos.
Well, if either that, I want to kill somebody. So
I'm gonna explode something.
Okay.
Yeah, if someone is chasing us, like chasing like the two of them, as soon as they pass the larder door, she spins out and she's got a fine hand weapon and she just like rips their throat out with this fine weapon.
Okay. So the way that Powered by the Apocalypse style of games works, which is what the root end of Blades in the Dark is as a GM, I set a scene and then I react. So I can say that everyone's scrambling to attack, but when you fail a roll, that's when they actually attack. So you can pull out your weapon and then make me a roll to escape. And if you fail the roll, someone's gonna get you. Make sense?
But I want to kill them.
You can then instead you can just go kill them.
Yeah, but
you don't have to wait until if somebody attacks my friend. You can just go murder. That's totally fine.
Yes, but I need to get out of this room.
That's on you. Do you want to escape more than
I
you want
to
escape?
Murder? Obviously, I don't want to die.
I'm not trying to kill you. You decide if murdering versus getting away faster. It's up to Archie to wait till you get out. It's not up to me.
I'm not trying to murder you personally. I mean, collateral damage is collateral.
Well, I have a flashback for that as well, for the door thing, for when it comes. So I guess I'll just fucking run with them. I guess
you can murder.
I can't murder them and then get out.
Here's what I'll
Look,
say. Here's what I'll say. If you want to murder, okay, I will let you murder. This will be desperate, as you are trying to get out and also simultaneously murder. So this will be a desperate standard roll.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd like to murder, you can make progress towards the exit and murder on your way. But it will be desperate standard.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I add in one thing that might make her situation better?
Yes.
You should know that Archie is not completely psychotic. He would give you one moment like to catch up before he sets out an explosive. We've been working together before. So it's not like when he reaches the door, it's going to explode. It's more like when he reaches the door, he's going to like count to 3. If you fell behind then you're screwed. But he will give you like one moment to catch up and get out. He's that nice.
One moment, yes.
I thought you were going to say Archie's not completely sane, and I was like, we know.
No, it's not completely psycho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay,
this
so
will be a desperate standard.
Yeah. And what she
skirmish.
has a fine hand weapon. She's marked off on her inventory.
Okay.
And it's basically part of her MO as a serial killer in her downtime, when she's not solving crime as a detective. And what it is, it's like a hand thing goes over her fingers, and it gives her like talons, like a hawk.
Okay, I like that.
And that's what she basically comes out and she like grabs throats and will like rip throats out.
Okay.
That's how she's
this
attacking.
I'll say this is a desperate I'll say this is a desperate great because you're fine weapon. We'll upgrade that standard to great.
Do I get so I don't get a bonus or anything?
Do you want desperate standard and a bonus, or desperate great and no bonus?
And sorry, what is great doing? Because I think the bonus dice is better for me in the long run, right?
The great is the effect your success will have. So it means hurting someone versus ripping their throat out of their body.
I'd like to rip their throat out.
So great will get you a kill. Standard will get you damage.
Okay. So can I get a bonus dice for my subterfuge, my cult cloak? Where they're like, "Oh my god, you're one of us." So they kind of have like that. Whoa, like they check their
That's
stride
pretty
or
cool.
something.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll take
hey,
that.
buddy. Oh no, you're killing me.
Oh no,
Yeah.
my neck. I'll take that. I'll give you a bonus 1 for that.
All right, let's go. Oh, not so much.
Okay,
But I'll take
okay.
it.
So on a desperate, you get to mark an XP.
Sweet.
Okay, so you on a desperate 4 to 5, you do it, but you suffer a serious consequence.
Okay.
You run by and quickly you just grab someone by the throat and you begin to it's kind of like a single motion. As you're running, you grab, and the momentum of your run, you just sort of snap your wrist and you just grab in the throat, and then you just puncture with your thumb, just sort of right around the windpipe out. And then you just and blood just arterial spray everywhere. And as you begin to run, blood is spraying. There's chaos around. Someone sees you, and you see a machete whoop, along the back, not your hamstring, but no, pretty much your hamstring, right in the back of your thigh, just slices you. That is a level 2 harm hamstring.
Hamstringed.
Which is now a -1 die to your rolls.
Okay.
Ooh.
A -1
then
die
she-
to rolls that would be affected by the attack.
Okay. And she will continue on her way out.
Okay. So you make progress towards the door. You will need to succeed at one more roll to get out of the door, as you are the furthest away, essentially. Archie and Ren escape the room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just
go ahead.
I'm just gonna run. Like there's no prowling, no being discreet. It's like full on booking it.
Okay. I believe that is going to be. There is a roll associated. I think it's just might be. No, I can't make you roll prowess. That's not how that works.
Okay.
No, I think it's gonna be
I'd
prowl.
say-
I think it's gonna be prowl. Prowl is traverse obstacles, climb, run, swim. Yeah, yeah. So this is gonna be
Ah,
prowl.
okay.
This is going to be. The chaos is crazy, and all you're doing is running. So this is gonna be risky standard. And Melissa, it's the
Risky
same for you if you want to
standard.
make that roll.
5.
Okay. I will say retroactively, would you like to push yourself for a bonus dice?
No, I want to save that for blowing up the house.
Okay. There's no end to them until you trauma out of the game. You can
Yeah,
take
exactly.
as many as you
That-
have stress.
Yeah.
Okay. You make progress to the door, Melissa or Ren. Sorry.
Flashback. Ren puts on like a leather vest and very, very sturdy leather boots because she knows she's going to be jumping all over buildings and stuff, and sometimes she falls. So she back in the present, she tightens one of her boots, the one that now has a bum ankle, so that she can depart. Will that be 1 stress or 2 or none? Do you care?
What's your ultimate end goal here?
To walk on a sprained ankle.
I will say. I'm not gonna have you. No stress. You can just have fancy boots that you can tie. You can walk on the ankle. All it's going to do is you can't heal in. You have to heal in downtime. That's just the mechanics of the game. It will lower your effect if it is relevant.
All right, so movement is not restricted at present.
Correct.
But
yeah.
for the sake of the story, she's got some pretty sturdy leather boots.
Yeah.
Okay, then the next thing is that I'd like to walk backwards towards that door and sharpshooter again. This time, the barrage of rapid fire is intended to suppress because one of our objectives was no witnesses. She wants to keep all the cultists in the room as they are exiting.
Ooh. Okay, so suppression is the goal. Outstanding.
Yes.
So this will be a risky limited.
Okay.
So you have your fall damage lowers the effect from standard to limited. So you will move slower. And go ahead and roll 1 extra die. Just roll a d6. Outstanding. So the fine weapon gives you a bonus die because it's not going to affect your effect. So you do exactly what you intended. You just, again, start firing this rifle off as you slowly back up. I will say you back up to where the back of your heel hits the bottom step, and you're probably right near Hawk as you watch spray out of someone's neck, and then you hear Hawk yell as someone slices at her, and you fire at that person's feet, and they stumble back a bit. So Hawk and Ren, you're at the bottom of the stairs. Archie, you are basically at the top of the stairs. Patsy, there's fucking chaos going on downstairs. You've kind of just been chilling, living the dream as Patsy, the guy who actually commits no crimes and tries to get blamed for all of them. You've done none of the chaos. Things are going gangbusters for you. What are you doing?
He just wants to be involved so bad.
He really doesn't. I think you see he's gone to one of the cabinets and he's dragged it to the top of the stairs so that a push will push it down the stairs.
Mm.
Oh, okay, dope. I like that. I don't I don't think I'm going to have you roll for that at all. I think that's going to be a setup move for you. So
we're all just like bang, 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 scream, scream. And he's like,
he's just like, ah! There is a move called setup. How the fuck does it work? I think you just set it up to get a bonus later on. Yeah, no roll for that. You absolutely do that. So you perform. Oh, that's what it is. You perform a setup action. Anyone who follows through on the setup gains a +1 effect level or improved position for that roll. So you perform the setup. As you're dragging this over, whoever pushes it, including yourself, would get either a +1 to the effect or a +1 to the position. So you have dragged this over, ready to tumble it down the stairs. Okay, fuck yeah. Archie, Hawk, Ren, you are in various degrees of up and down the stairs. How are you? And you just see out of nowhere, Patsy's like, with like a bookshelf as he's dragging it through the corridor towards the stairs. What are the three of you doing?
What I'm doing is I have a special ability called Not to be Trifled with.
Okay.
I can push myself to do one of the following: perform a feat of physical force that verges on superhuman. That's being one of them, and that's what I would like to do, because I need to run up a staircase with a sliced hamstring. So
okay.
I want to get up the stairs without being fucked with.
You read
know
that
what I mean?
as if you were going to read the rest of them. You're like, that's one of them.
Okay.
And
The rest is
that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. The other option is engage a small gang on equal footing in close combat. But I want to perform the feat of strength to get up the stairs while I'm hamstringed.
Yeah. Fuck, that got me. I
don't need to read the rest of the rule there. I just
okay. So push yourself to do one of the following things. Yeah. Yeah. You do. That's it. You do it. You succeed at that.
Sweet.
You succeed at that.
And then I'll get this in here now. For what were those blue candles? Like those? Is that just what flames look like in Duskfall?
No, they were just weird, creepy candles.
Okay, so flashback to just as she's starting down the staircase following the cult, she leaves her candle at the top of the stairs, like just inside the door. Yeah, in the corner. So the purpose of that is to be used to set off the bomb.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely. So that's another setup action. So I'll give someone a +1 for their roll for that. That would be your action. The running up the stairs. Ren, you're at the bottom of the stairs. Archie, you're near the top of the stairs. How are you two getting out?
I'm running out.
Great. I think, you know what? I'll say, Archie, because of the chaos and what's happening downstairs, you've made it to the top of the stairs. No one is stopping you. So if you'd like to set your turn as getting the bomb ready, you can do that instead.
Exactly what I want to do.
Okay.
That's it. Don't throw it at me. Don't throw it at me. I'm just need to 1 minute.
Go ahead and roll. Let's chat, Iquin. This is gonna be.
Yes. It's gonna be mayhem. Mike.
Okay. I'm gonna give you an option here. This is either going to be Tinker, or it's going to be Wreck.
I have equal amounts in both.
Okay. Tinker would be like a precise use of the device. Wreck would be the most destruction you can possibly get out of this.
I see. I don't have to think about that. It's going to be Wreck. We're going for it. Look. There's actually some logic to it. It is chaos. I'm being hunted. The police cannot find all of the shit that we've been doing here, so we're going for maximum damage. Fastest maximum damage.
I'm going to have you make this roll now. When Ren gets up here is when the trigger will happen. This will be a rec roll. This will be desperate for sure. Great for sure. I will give you a bonus dice for the actual actual bomb you made, right?
Yeah. The candle.
I will give you a bonus dice for the I will give you I'll give you a bonus dice for the candle. I'll give you a bonus dice for the candle. So you have two dice from Rec, you have 1 dice from the bomb, 1 dice from the candle, and if you like, I will give you a devil's bargain for a bonus dice.
Oh, I was just gonna stress myself out because I have a lot of stress left, and that's what I was saving them to use them now to just push it on.
Okay. The devil's bargain you can choose not to accept. You get either stress or a devil's bargain, but I'm still going to give you the devil's bargain as an option.
Right.
The devil's
Let's hear
bargain
it. Might be fun.
The basement is not a sealed environment. There is a giant hole in the floor, and there is a dumbwaiter. This explosion will not be contained to the basement.
I mean, it was never really meant to be. The door was to stop the cultists from escaping, not to contain the explosion.
Okay.
But do I want to take that instead of just? Yeah. Let's go with it. It could be fun. I mean, it could be that less of them die, but we do have sharpshooters that can pick them off. It could be that more things explode, and I'm all for it. More things might explode because it's not a contained area anymore.
So I would like you to make the rec roll. So rec, desperate, great, 2 bonus dice.
2 bonus dice.
This is also a derelict building, so we're doing them a favor.
Fucking yes.
Oh shit!
We're gonna pause there. We'll pause right there. You get up. You set this up. Ren, how are you getting out of the basement?
Well, because I was boring, like just walking out of the basement, she walks out of the basement casually, and then there's a flashback to her picking up a door jammer before they leave. And so as she closes the door behind her, she also shoves a door jammer under the handle so that they can't open the door to come out.
All right, well, we'll pause. You get out. We flash back. You reach into your coat. You have this thing. We'll pause right there. Patsy, I believe there's something you want to do before the door gets closed.
Is
that true? It did sound like you said you wanted to push a bookshelf down a flight of stairs.
He was waiting for them to get up.
Everyone is up.
Friends not. Oh, everyone's up?
Yep.
Yeah. Patsy will push that bookshelf down.
Outstanding. Does anyone want to help Patsy push? Only one person can help. You do take 1 stress for helping.
I'll help since I'm up there first and Archie's busy.
Okay, you take 1 stress. Hawk, that will give you a bonus die. Patsy, you did a setup, which will increase. Setup will increase either the effect or position. The position is controlled. You're cool as a cucumber. So you're fine. Hawk is helping you. That's 1 bonus die for that. So this is going to be, I think this is going to be Rec. And I think this is going to be controlled. And I think this is going to be great.
Can I argue finesse that he's set it up in a way that it's easy to push down?
I'll take finesse. I'll take the argument. You set it up.
So the position was controlled?
Controlled and great. Controlled, and great because of the setup. Went from standard to great because of your setup, and plus 1 die for Hawk. And if you'd like, I always forget to say, if you'd like to take 2 stress to roll a bonus dice, you may do so. Or if you'd like a devil's bargain, I can come up with 1 for a bonus dice.
I'll take the stress.
Okay, so take 2 stress, roll me a d6, see if it's better than a 5 or a 1. Just a 5. Okay. the two of you shove this thing down, and it down there. You see people jump off the stairs as it gets out of the way, as they're getting out of the way. But it falls in a way that it lands face like straight up like a bookshelf. And you see a couple of cultists sort of look back as the door is closing, right? So we see you like throw this thing, the door is closing, Ren has the door jammer, and you see a couple of cultists look at it and look up and start to climb towards the hole in the floor. As the door slams, the door jammer, boom, goes in. You see Archie, 2 6s on a roll in Blades in the Dark is a crit. You see Archie tick, 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 set the kitchen timer, and we see all of you turn and fucking run as this thing gas begins to pour out of this thing. Feeling as you hear coughing and gagging and choking.
Yeah. It's thick yellow gas that is like both very acidic and also very foul smelling.
Yeah.
There's no hiding this gas, and you've seen it before. It sort of tears the flesh out of people that comes in contact with it. Super volatile in every way of the word. If you go into Archie's workshop and he works on this thing, it's usually like you hit that, you bump that table, and we all die. Get out.
So you see this sort of begins to fill up the room. You see a little bit sort of like eking out of the room that had the hole in the floor. You see a little bit out of one of the other rooms that had the dumbwaiter in it. You see a little bit coming out underneath the door, the crack of the door jamb. And that's where we see, as you guys run in this like cinematic, right, we don't look back sort of thing, we see Archie skid to a halt, turn, and just roll a candle as it like down across this hardwood floor. It hits the door. You see the candle ignite, and you just hear this like woo as all of the air is removed from the basement. You see gouts of flame out of the floor. You see the dumbwaiter explode out of the wall as the 4 of you are just in slow motion as this house boom as this bright orange and green alchemical flame rockets out of a abandoned courtyard in Charter Wall of the Collegiate District of Duskfall. As you hear, as a bunch of blue coat whistles begin to permeate the area as the police are quickly rounding their corners. As you did have 3 out of 4 of the boxes on that clock checked. You almost did not evade the police. As you get there, woof, 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 more gouts of this fire just like explode out into the air as we see the 4 of you silhouetted by this burning house just absconding towards the river. Mission
as soon we're in safe
accomplished.
distance, I will just take out a lighter, put it in Patsy's hand and say, "Good work, Patsy. Nice explosion. Bye."
Some of my best work.
It's a lighter that has like alchemical stuff on it that just says Patsy. Out fucking standing. That concludes our first ever Blades in the Dark one-shot that I've run here on the channel. I hope you enjoyed this. Let's go around, do our introductions so we can get the hell out of here, do our after show. As always, if you guys like what we do here on the channel, the best way to support us is just like these fine folks you see here before you by joining us over on our Patreon, link in the description down below. While you're down there clicking on that link, make sure you click on that Discord link as well. Join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. But for now, let's do our outros. Let's get out of here. Let's do that after show. We will start with our 2 new faces from today's one-shots. We'll start with Snow. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
I'm Normal Snow. You can normally find me in the one-shots and the Patreon campaign, The Rise, and occasionally in the Discord.
Hell fucking yeah. Melissa, same questions. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Melissa, Drafter in the Discord, blah, 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 Mundus Novus, which G will talk about, Age of Always 2, which G will talk about, sometimes these games, and Games with Stories to see my art.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
GamesWithStories.com.
Since G clearly has a lot to talk about, G, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm your friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You can find me in all things unMadeGaming. including all the Patreon stuff, which includes next weekend with Snow. We got the Rise. The next Saturday after that, we have our regular one-shots. This is a reschedule from April that we had to cancel. So 2 Saturdays from now, we have regular one-shots with all of us. And then the 4th Sunday, we have Mundus Novus, like Melissa said, which is a Vaesen campaign, also Patreon. And I think that's it. I'm on the Discord all the time, and that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And Age of Always, we don't have a date yet. So
yeah, we don't even know when season 2 is happening. So
yeah.
All right, last but not least, Iquin, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Well, hello there. I'm your friendly neighborhood Swede instead. I am often in the Discord where I try to grab people to run Cthulhu games that are not streamed, but on camera, but we're doing it like more in private. I also run the Mastodon server for unMadeGaming, so I need your help to make Mike tell me to be the CTO, the Chief Tooting Officer. So I will end with taking a page from Brennan Lee Mulligan's book and say, get into the comments!
God damn it. God damn it.
You can't say that on this channel.
I think you can.
Of course I can.
I think you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want, in all of, here's the thing, in all professional, all of your social media, including LinkedIn, if you use it, you have to put unMadeGaming Chief Tooting Officer as a job title, and I'll bless off on it. I want to see that the Swedish LinkedIn Chief Toot Officer unMadeGaming.
Mm-hmm. And none of the CTO abbreviation stuff.
Yeah, no, you can't get the whole thing out. Ridiculous. All right. That's it for us. I had a good time. These smiling faces had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time. That's it from us. We'll see you guys next time. So from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.
Bye.